Hello, my name is Edward Smith. I just go by Eddie. Most of you guys might know me as the Pissed Up Tiger from TikTok. I'm originally from London, England. I was born in London. I'm from a place called in North London called Finchley in Camden Town. Uh, I left London when I was 3 years old, moved to Tonga, and that's where I spent most of my life until I was called on a full-time mission back to London later on in life. So growing up in Tonga, the message I received was uh, to show signs of emotions, for you to sit down and talk about your emotions and talk about things that you're struggling with was a sign of weakness. I was always taught to be a man, like, and if you come home, you're hurt or whatever, emotionally, physically, you're always told to like, nah, rub it off, you're fine. Alufay ngawe. So alufay ngawe, you're fine. So those are the messages I received growing up. What really made it hard for us men to come out and talk about our emotions is like, because in Tonga, and I'm not saying this to put Tonga down, like especially in our culture, now matakaria tautolu, it's like they want a good laugh. So it's hard for you to come out and talk about emotion because you are made fun of. They will make fun of you. It's all about, yeah, it's hard to share your emotions because if you share your emotions with someone or talk about anything like a secret to someone, tomorrow morning your story is out in the entire village. So and this is something I always encourage people to do. Stop judging, because the more you judge and run your mouth about someone behind their backs, you're going to push them to the edge when they're already gone through enough already, and with that added on top, you're gonna keep on pushing them to the edge, and that's where suicide ends up happening. And and I've seen it happen. I've had some of my friends in um, my neighborhood who took their lives over just because everyone was just making fun of them.
And was this on the islands?
Was in Tonga, yes. Uh, there was one time in Tonga, especially when you're going into the holidays, like in December, November, December, November and December. That's when the school goes out and break for the holidays, and that's when your school results come in, and your parents have to view them at home. With if your school grades are bad, then you get the whooping, and a lot of kids take it as a bad thing, and they end up taking their lives because of that. Another thing is like I had a good friend. We did not know that he was going through a lot of emotions, a lot of things that I didn't even know about until I came here to this country and they told me about the first time I ever heard about anxiety and what's the other word? Anxiety and depression. I didn't know that these things were real until I came here. I had no idea that he was suffering with these things until one day we couldn't find him. They couldn't find him for 2 days, and they found him on the third day on a Sunday. He was hanging from a tree.
Um, it's happening on the islands, and you said that like you've seen it there, like as
Yeah.
you were growing up. So, what do you think makes it hard for our people to like actually talk about? Because a lot of people will say things like, "Oh, that's a Balani thing. That's
Yeah.
like an American thing. Like that's not something that happens on the islands." But it is. It does happen, and you've seen it. You've experienced it. Um, so why do you think maybe it's like hard for people to talk about, especially people living on the islands?
Thing that makes it hard for them, like I said, like us men growing up in town, we were trained to not talk about your emotions because it is a sign of weaknesses. These are real things that I've been through growing up. Uh, so 3 years ago, I've been divorced for 3 years now, and went to go visit my mother in California. And to her surprise, I opened up and shared some things that she had no idea about. Uh, I was abused. That I'm trying to make a abused and being disciplined to the separate things. Yes, I was disciplined for mistakes that I did growing up as a child. And but when the discipline goes a little overboard to a point where you're questioning yourself, no, that's not discipline, then that is abuse. I was abused physically, emotionally, and sexually. I opened up and told my mother about this, and she was surprised and she's like, "Why did you not tell me about this back when we were growing up in Tonga?" So my family ran a fishing business. I was intimidated to not say a word about what they were doing to me. Uh, but yeah, I was told not to say anything. But the moment I open up and tell what they were doing to me, then I will be beat up. They're gonna mess me up. I was even told like, we'll mess you up till you go die in the hospital. We don't care if you die or not. For me, it was hard for me to speak up and tell you guys what was going on. It's because I was told, if you say a word, we'll beat you up, we'll mess you up. So I'm the one who's hauled into a boat, and they take me far away. And the only thing that's between me and safety is the deep blue sea with sharks. There's nowhere to run to, there's nowhere to swim to. So that was the biggest hard thing for me to come out and talk about the things that I was dealing with. Uh, the things that I have dealt with is I didn't even know that I was suffering with these things like trauma, PTSD. I didn't even know what that meant until I came here to America and you start reading about it, like PTSD and like what the soldiers have when they come back from war. Uh, I didn't even know how to identify these things until I decided to sit down and read about it. And I'm like, wow, I have trauma and PTSD. but but yeah, I went through a lot to the point where I just wanted to end my life. There were like I said, we were fishermen. I was surrounded by a lot of rope, a lot of tools that were easy to you can easily take your life. There was a moment in my life where I was hoping for everyone to just leave, just helping go, because I know I was going to be the one who's going to be staying at the sea, guarding the boat overnight. So my job was to stick around. Everyone all went home. It was just me by myself. The law or rule was given to me was your job is to stay here, wait for the tide to come in tonight, and get all the boats together. And your job is to go and wait for us at the next spot that we'll be fishing at next. So I took that as an opportunity to, you know what? I'm not going to be at the spot. I'm just going to end my life right here, right now. Because of all the things that I've been through, I felt that like there was no hope, there's no help. Even if I were to go talk to the bishop, bishop's not going to do anything because he's a father, spiritual father only. In Tonga, there's no therapist. There's no. I didn't even hear about the word psychology until I was on my mission. But I just said to myself, I there's only one person that I shared my feelings with was my oldest sister. My oldest sister, my mother, and although I love my grandma so much, I did not want to trouble her with what I was going through, but she was my angel. But I didn't want to tell her, and her ended up sharing it with my grandfather and grandfather to the boys, and things just get worse. But I just held back. So the only thing that gave me the hope to hold on, keep going, was a few things. God first, my mom and sister, and Westlife. I'm a big fan of Westlife. They've saved my life a few times. It was God first and Westlife. So even though I had options. I can go find myself a job elsewhere, but for me, there was no option. They planted it in my mind, saying like, you're never leaving this job. You're staying right here. You're not going. If I wanted to go and go find a job elsewhere, it was a no. They will come after me. They'll find me. They even told me, we will find you. We'll drag you back here. So go ahead, go. I'll come find you. So, I mean, that was the intimidation that I got.
And then you believed it, so then you felt
So
like
I had
home.
believed that I had to stay. The hope I got God, was knowing that He was above all, He sees all, most powerful, most high, who can make things happen. and I just realized. And plus, yeah, was knowing that I don't want anything else in my life. I just want to go serve a mission. I not only did I want to serve a mission, not to get away from everything, but I saw it as my ticket out. And plus, I always wanted to be a missionary. So God was my hope. And when I realized that was the light in my life that I wanted to do, that's what opened me to the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I don't need to be their slave anymore. So I need to get rid of whatever I'm going through. So my sister, until a point, my sister left, went to go get married, and it was kind of hard to like share with her, share with someone. So that's where it led for me to just keep it to myself. The thing that you always hope for is happening right in front of your eyes. Realizing that God's blessing is happening right in front of your eyes, in front of my eyes, and that's when I felt like, you know what, they can't harm me anymore. They can't hurt me anymore. They can't tell me what to do anymore. I'm free. I can do whatever. So first, like in order for me to move on and you know share love to other people, I gotta love myself first. So I started having these like trauma and PTSD that really affects me. I need to identify what those are first. So I sat down, read about it, watched videos. Because I'm more of a video than reading, so I watch a lot of videos about trauma, PTSD, uh, like the word I said earlier, like my ex-wife threw at me quite a few times. That was the only word that hurt the most was narcissist. I had no idea what that word meant till after our divorce. I humbled myself and studied about the word narcissist. Uh, so yeah, when I realized that narcissist is a real thing, it's a real sickness that a lot of our Polynesian men, I'm sure they do have, but they don't know what it is. So that's one of the things I realized. So I did everything I can to get rid of it. Like it was like a sickness that you wanted to wash it off yourself very quick because I didn't want any association with that word ever again. So when you're around negative people, you're feeding the negativity inside of you. The thing that I thought was very, very safe for me was healing me first, like making sure that I'm taken care of, making sure that my soul feels amazing today. And I do that by going on long walks. Long walks really works for me. Listening to good music uplifts my spirit. Uh, working out, working out. These are things that I feel safe and it's being around my family. My family don't. I mean, like my family here in Utah, they don't really get much credit for this, but my auntie and uncle always calls me to come over for family gatherings. These are the things that gives me hope, that feeds me to be safe, that I'm gonna be okay, type thing.
How do you think that men are misunderstood, like in the community, and with all the emotions that they have to deal with alone?
Yes, I think they're misunderstood, depending who you're talking to, or depending who's going through the emotion. They're misunderstood in a lot of ways.
How do you think that our people could understand them better, or like do better as a community to um, give support to like the men in our community?
Uh, I think the best way to understand them better is know where they're coming from, because you can't tell what a person's go through until you go find the root of the the cause of it. So ask, sit down, talk, like like what we do in our faith. We do visiting teaching. Used to be home teaching, but now it's visiting teaching. It's been a while I haven't gone to church, so so yeah, do visiting teaching. Go visit them, like hang out with friends, talk to them, ask questions. Where is this coming from? Like identify where the problem is coming from. Because if not, and if these things are not happening, then it's just sad, or it sucks to wake up one day and notice that that person is gone from our lives forever. And we sit and regret saying, what could I have done to reach out more? I had a friend, a very good friend of mine. I was her Sunday school teacher. Do miss her a lot. She was a very close friend, and she was pretty close with my cousin until one day I was shocked to hear that she passed away. She took her own life, and I still ask myself, like a year later after she was gone, I still ask myself the question, why? Why did you do like you're an amazing woman? I sat down and had a chat with my cousin, and that's when my cousin told me that she had like a dream, like kind of like I'm try not to cast pearls before swine here, but I'm just saying like uh, she found out the reason why behind the reason why she left this world was like due to abuse from the husband.
What would you want younger men or boys to hear about emotions and boundaries that they weren't taught?
Speak up. You see something, say something. If something's not right, talk to your parents. Talk to your parents about these things because the reason why it was hard for me because I was raised with no father. The only father figure I had was my grandfather and uncles, which the very people I thought was the one that could protect me end up being the wolves that I was fed to. But like I said, I'm not saying that I'm trying to put them down. I'm just trying to hoping that my message is being disciplined is something different and being abused is completely something different. So I'm trying to separate the difference. So the thing I want my message to the world and to children, especially in our culture, speak up. Talk to your mom. Talk to your dad. Like if you're being abused or you need help or something, speak up. If I may say this, especially in our culture, I'd say it things that I would like hope to change from this time moment moving forward. Let's leave the past alone. There's nothing we can do to go back to the past and fix it. From here on out, husbands, stop beating your wives because this has happened a lot in Tonga for me growing up. And it's still happening today. Tukuho taho mari, because your sons and daughters see your actions. This is something that our Savior once said. The son can do nothing of himself but what he seeth the father do. Stop uh, verbally abusing your wives and your children because words do hurt. They do break people down. So if you have a problem, take your wife away from the kids and go address your issues afar from the kids. Then come back, talk to your kids about what's going on. So that's something I do hope to see change. Because like I said, growing up in Tonga, you see a lot of this. Like I visited Tonga recently. I've been to Tonga 3 times. And I was surprised to see that these things are still happening in Tonga in our day, time, and age. Like speaking up is not a sign of weakness; it's brave. Like when I heard that word when I first came here, it drove me angry. And I'm going to admit this on camera, let everyone know. Yeah, I admit my mistakes to the world. I own it 200%. Broke the scale, own it. So like I was married to my ex-wife for 11 years and things that I was doing, I had no idea that I was abusing her emotionally. I was a loose cannon doing what I was doing until when the divorce happened and I had to humble myself the hard way. Like I said, I did not even know that emotional abuse is a real thing. And like I said, and I'm not trying to back myself up here, like I just wasn't informed about these things until the divorce happened. I had to humble myself the hard way. And I'm like, wow, I did not even know. So yeah, I did apologize to my ex-wife. The apology was to let her know that I finally learned my lesson. But at the same time, I already accepted my fate. We're not going to get back together. I'm just saying we had an amazing 11 years. Move on with your life. I'll heal myself here. So I was just sharing this from experience. There's help and there's hope out there for you, especially out in our Polynesian culture. These are things that we don't even talk about. Like I said before, sharing your emotions is a sign of weakness for us men. But no, that's just feeding you to become weaker. Uh, like I said, I was only sharing this from my experience. What I've gone is nothing to put anyone down or to bash anyone. It was just me to or anyone or make anyone feel to have pity on me. No, I'm just sharing. These are things that I've been through in life. And believe me when I say, when you try to share your story with me, I'll tell you, I know what you mean because I've been there myself.